Hi, my name is Gracelyn Haas, and I am presenting Understanding Mass Shootings in America, a Statistical Perspective. So the reasons why I wanted to do this as my statistical analysis project is understanding trends, understanding maybe what months have more shootings than others, or what years, or if it is declining or rising and why. And then public safety, just knowing and educating yourself is always safer. Raising awareness for and realizing it's not usual to have as many shootings as we do in America. Empathy for those who have lost their lives or been in a shooting, and then 107%. This is something I calculated on Excel, as you see on the right side. It has deaths per year of mass shootings, and in 2018, there is 347 deaths due to mass shootings. And in 2023, there was 721 deaths due to mass shootings. There is a 107% increase in deaths. So we need to become aware of that. And that is my main motivation on why I wanted to look into this more. Okay, so I got the data set from Gun Violence Archive, which has just a bunch of statistics about gun violence throughout the years in America. And then on my spreadsheet, it included incident ID, incident date, the state in which it happened, the city or the county, the address of where it happened, victims killed, victims injured, suspects killed, suspects injured, suspects arrested. And then in the last column, I added a smaller sample population proportion of the gender shooter. So since there were so many, I took 15 at the beginning of each year, and I just used that as my sample proportion. So I put the gender shooter either if it was unknown, male or female, so I could get a little sample of the genders. So I just looked into some of the incidents even more. It does include 3,354 mass shootings in the United States between the years 2018 and 2023. And I know a lot of people say, oh, there was only, I think, 193. Like, I looked into it more. I think this one just includes more incidents. It just is a broader space, but I just feel like the regular number is not including some of the smaller things that still did happen or attempts to happen. And then my population was a whole population, but it was a smaller population sample that I did the gender data from. So here's some statistics that I pulled from my Excel sheet. It has deaths per month between the years of 2018 and 2023. So how I calculated that, I went through each year, and so I do January 2018, January 2019, January 2020, 21, 22, 23. And then I did the sum button, and I got the deaths per month, because I was kind of curious what month you were most likely to die per mass shooting. And that ended up being three kind of. Ended up being October, which I assume because Halloween, and then it ended up also being June and July. Hold on. May, June, July, and October are all 10% more likely to die from a mass shooting than any other day, which is crazy. So the total deaths between 2018 and 2023 was 3,293. So I decided to do the mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, and 99th percentile of two separate things. I did one of the deaths and then one of the injuries, since I had both of those statistics in front of me. So the mean is the average, so that is just calculating the average of deaths and then the average of injuries for the incidents, per incident. So the average deaths are 0.98, and then the average injury is 4.072. And then the median is the middle value. So the median for deaths is 1, and then the median for injuries is 4. And then the mode is the number that appears the most often, and the mode for deaths was 0, and the mode for injuries was 4. And then the range is subtracting the largest number in the set to the smallest number in the set. So for deaths, the range is 23. And then for injuries, the range is 32. And then the standard deviation for deaths is 1.46. And the standard deviations for injuries is 2.28, which means that it is small. And my 99th percentile for deaths was 6, which means only 1% of deaths due to mass shootings had over 6. And then the injuries 99th percentile was 13, which means 1% of injuries for mass shootings had more than 13 injuries. My next thing that I decided to look into was I wanted to know the gender of the shooter, what if it was mainly woman or mainly male. So to do this, it did not give me a gender on any of the listings that it gave me, the stats, but whenever you go to the website, they also give you articles that you can look into the case further. So I just did 15, so I did a sample proportion of the population. I did 15 at the beginning of each year, and I just saw if it was male, female, or unknown, because some of them had not been caught or there was no updates on them, so it was just unknown. So I just did 15 right in a row, no back and forth or anything, and I just was kind of curious. So my hypothesis and null hypothesis were, my null hypothesis was the shooter being a male accounts for 50% or less of the total mass shootings between 2018 and 2023. And then my alternative hypothesis was the shooter being a male accounts for more than 50% of deaths, total deaths from mass shootings between 2018 and 2023. So keep in mind that the majority of the stats I found on the gender were unknown still, but in 2023 there was 4 male, 0 female, and 11 unknown, with 15 total shootings. And some of them, it was like 2 people or 3 people at a time doing these shootings, so sometimes there will be more people than there are shootings. In 2022, there was 11 males, 0 females, and 8 unknown. In 2021, there was 13 males, 1 female, 8 unknown. In 2020, there was 6 males, 0 females, 11 unknown. In 2019, there was 6 males, 0 females, 13 unknown. 2018, there was 11 males, 0 females, 7 unknown. And for all of those, I took a sample population of 15 shootings. The total numbers, the numbers that I came out to were there was 51 males total, 1 female, and 58 unknown. So 68% of the shootings were done by males, and 1% of them were done by females, and 77% were unknown. I just think it's really important for people to actually look at the issue and not look at it because it's sad. It is very, very sad, but it is going to keep going up in numbers if we don't do something about it. It is 107%. Keep that statistic in your head. It is 107% more likely to die today than in 2018. 107% more likely to die due to a mass shooting today than in 2018, which is awful and so incredibly sad, and we as people need to fix it. So that is my presentation today. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything you guys would like answered, and I will answer them. Thank you.